Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we have part 2 of a 3-part series in which we're going to be talking about blending colored pencils. And today we're going to be looking at blending with oil, baby oil. And like we did in part 1, we're going to be using the same colors. These are Crayola pencils. And we're going to be working with an orange red, a red, a blue, and a violet. I also picked up a orange yellow, but I decided not to use that color for now. We're going to be doing something with it on part 3. And we're going to be applying the same principle of layering, except that we are not going to be putting as many layers as we did in part 1. We're going to be working with a little bit more pressure because we want to have enough color on the paper that we can move around. And so we're going to do 3-4 layers like we did in part 1, blue and purple for the shadows, red, orange for the rest of the petals. Mid-tones and the lighter tones. And once we have enough color on the petals, we're gonna go with, I used a Q-tip with a little bit of baby oil, but you can also use a brush, like a watercolor brush. That would work too. And then you're gonna see that, of course, these pencils are not oil-based, and on top of that, they're not the highest quality. So we have to be careful because the oil is going to lift some of that color off the page. But it did a pretty good job at blending. I was impressed. This was the first time I ever did that. It was like an experiment, and it kind of worked. And what's great about using the oil, in this case I use baby oil because I don't really like having toxic solvents around unless it's necessary. So for, let's say, coloring books, I prefer using, baby oil. It works fine for me. And so one of the good things about it is that once you have a layer of oil, you can continue to work on top of that. And I noticed what it did for the Crayola pencil is that it helped brightening up a little bit the colors. Of course, not as much as if you were working with, let's say, the polychromo pencils, of course. But it worked enough, and you're gonna see that on this example, I worked a little bit more on the shadows. I was happy with the first flower, but I wanted to see how it would look if I darkened the shadows more, so that's what I did. And there is already a video on my channel where I did a walkthrough with blending with baby oil. But in that example, I worked with polychromo pencils, which not everyone has access to because they are kind of pricey. That's why I decided to redo the video sort of with using the more affordable option that anyone can have at home. And of course, you can, like, I wouldn't dare to even compare one type of pencil with the other one. But honestly, it came out beautiful. I was happy with the results. It's completely doable. Now, I'm not sure if the paper that I was using had anything to do with it working out. I was working on mixed media paper, which can take a lot of layers and different mediums and stuff. But I used the cheapest kind of mixed media paper that I can find, which is the Artist Loft. That's a budget brand that you find at Michael's. So it's fair. It's fairly priced. It's good quality, very nice for practicing. Some coloring books have good paper. Some coloring books don't. So I can't guarantee that this is something that's gonna work in every coloring book. So I would suggest doing a small test, like in a corner, of the page, to see if this is something that's gonna work. But anyways, now that I blended the entire rose with oil, I actually came back with a little bit more oil and, worked around a little bit, and then I went over that with the pencil. And as you can see, that red is really darkening, and the blues and the blue and the purple. So like I said at the beginning, once you have your layer of oil, you can come back and work on top of that, and it makes it a lot easier to blend, and your colors are gonna be a little more saturated. And that's personally what I like about this blending technique, as opposed to layering, in the case of Crayola at least. And there you have it. That's the rose blended with baby oil. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. To my new subscribers, like always, welcome. I'm very happy to have you. And I will see you next time. Bye.